What's up, believers? We are back with the Lucha Underground After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight, we're talking Season 3, Episode 25, Left 4 Dead, and the first round of the Cueto Cup is wrapping up, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
See, that's how we wake up on a late Thursday night, Jimbo.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Dummy.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
Let me talk to you.
Once again, we're back. If you're staying up late with us, thank you so much. If you're on the East Coast, even better. God bless you. Because we're the Lucha Underground After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. That's right, we're talking Season 3, Episode 25, Left 4 Dead. My name is Ty Matthews. You guys can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. Joined, as always, the ever-lovely, ever-talented. You can find him online at Jimbo in the Booth. Because he's Jimbo in the Booth, ladies and gentlemen, James Franck.
Rachel Sainvans or Sam Evans, however your brain works.
Rachel Sainvans or Rachel Sainvans, depends on how your brain works.
www.snarl.com.
She is not here with us tonight. It is a very gruesome story, actually.
Yeah. Is it?
It's a very...
Oh, I'm sad. I'll have to hear it later.
No, let me...
Are we going to talk about it right now?
Fuck it. Let's pull up the text right now.
Let's just hear it.
She said, Rachel Evans, from Rachel Evans at 8:37 p.m. Hi, buddy. I can't come tonight. My cousin's dog died. I know that seems super stupid, but she was obsessed with that thing, and it got eaten by a coyote. I had to clean it up. It was fucking nuts. I tried to take a pic for you, but got yelled at.
What?
Well, that's terrific.
I wonder why she got yelled at.
Because she was trying to take a picture.
No, I mean, like, if her cousin's just, like, bawling her eyes out, and she's like, hold on, I have to send this to Ty Matthews, because I need to prove...
I'm glad she didn't, actually. That would be... I would be...
Imagine opening... Oh, Rachel just sent me an image.
Right. I'd be incredibly upset by that picture.
So
I would not be happy. I'm glad she didn't. So, in her absence, you can find her online at Rachel Evans, or just Sam Evans on her brainwaves, or you can find her online at www.youtube.com/snarled.
Yes.
And of course, manning the ones and twos in absence of Mark Donica is our favorite boy. He's our favorite boy. He's Mr. Neil Plumley, guys.
Well, hey guys, nice to be here. Super excited to hang out and be with you.
I did not expect that.
Neil doesn't talk on the mic too much for that reason.
Unless it's a box office breakdown.
Neil, where can they find you online?
Well, you can find me at the Neil Plumley. THENEIL.
There you go. Boy.
Oh boy.
Boy, oh boy. Let's talk about this episode.
Let's talk about our favorite soggy boys.
Let's talk about... They're so soggy. Guys, they're the soggiest boys. Let's talk about this intro, which I loved.
It was great.
I
would never run through Boyle Heights, though.
We get a flashback, or we get footage of Dante Fox running through Boyle Heights. He's having flashbacks to Afghanistan, to his capture, to his torture, to his impending beheading.
Yeah,
let's talk about how real that got for a second.
Yeah, dark turn
until he was rescued. But I loved how stylized this was.
It was shot so beautifully, and all the cuts were perfect between like flashback and what's going on, like while he's running and he shakes his head, and then you see he's in the flashback, and then he shakes his head again, and the light hits his eyes, and it takes him back to the flashback. It was great.
Well, even just the text of the translations of, you know, the words that his captors were yelling, kind of like appearing on screen and then like sliding off. It's very very stylized, and I know a lot of wrestling gets shit for cameras being around but people pretending like they're not there, you know? Like a lot of backstage segments on WWE programming, people give them crap for there not being a reason for a camera to be there. But with Lucha Underground, they take it a step further. It's the suspension of disbelief is already there, and we've said it before, this isn't necessarily a wrestling show, it's a show about a wrestling show. So it's okay to have vignettes that are directed like this and that are edited like this, that are kind of this stylized.
Yeah, the vignette ends with him just jogging up to, hey, there's the dude I'm looking for on top of this temple. I'm gonna go in there and have a battle.
And oh my god, Killshot giving him that pose from the top of the temple in like slow motion was
as
such
like the pan up, and he disappears.
Well, it was such a Purge moment. It reminded me of the Purge a lot.
Yeah.
But it was awesome stuff.
The most recent one?
The second second one, actually, I believe. Yeah. There's the second one where the couple's car breaks down, and he looks, and it's in
the God mask.
That guy,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
What you're talking about.
Oh, I love those. I legitimately really love those movies. So starting off the action, the first round of the Cueto Cup rolls on with PJ Black taking on Sexy Star.
Sexy Star.
Sexy. She's a sexy.
Hug you, Mariposa. Sorry. Her outfit, like, she comes down and I'm like, oh, she's got the scepter, she got the cape jacket thing going on. All right, and then she gets in the ring and she takes that off. She puts the scepter down. And she has this weird fanny pack belt thing.
Interesting.
On.
I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think she's worn that before. That's kind of odd.
It's an odd accessory.
Yeah, it's a weird accessory.
I love me a good scepter, though.
I love me a good scepter.
Love me a good scepter. What do we got? We got the reversal that PJ Black does into the deadlift suplex, but almost kind of like a brain buster.
Oh yeah.
I think she goes for a tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Stops, puts the brakes on, readjusts the arms into the huge suplex. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. There were great camera cuts where she went for her flying head scissors and it cut to the camera that shoots the
I love that angle.
Logo.
Absolutely.
And then it cut back. So it was like perfect for her to spin him around and then cut back.
Right.
That was really nice. I loved his gear tonight. His gear was really cool.
It's
like
really
the metallic, like weird green purple looks.
Right, definitely.
I like that.
I'm a big fan of really colorful gear. That's why I was such a big fan of the Dude Busters when they debuted, of Kalen Croft and Trent Beretta. So colorful. And then or Heath Slater, when Heath Slater set out as a singles competitor. Very colorful gear.
There was great.
I know, guys, we got a packed studio right now. We're trying to keep them calm.
It's great when PJ went to the top rope to go do some kind of dive, and she just ran up and pushed him off.
What are you, HR shoving stuff?
Ace Ventura, right?
That's what. Yes, exactly. The second, what nature calls. More importantly. What else? The way PJ Black flies on the Rana that Sexy Star gives them at one point.
Oh, on the outside?
Right, yeah.
Insane.
People forget how insane he is and how much he can fly.
He's the Darewolf.
Like that 450 when he first started using that is a thing of beauty. Eventually, Taya Valkyrie is out at ringside with the brass knucks.
Tosses in the knucks, dude. Not short for binoculars, but short for brass knuckles.
The knocks. She tosses him in the ring. PJ Black doesn't get a chance to use him. Sexy Star instead decides to grab him and use him, but Justin Borden sees them, doesn't take too kindly, calls for the DQ. That's exactly. That is actually like kind of dead on exactly what Justin Borden sounds like. Can you hit that sound effect again, Neil? Yeah, that's Justin. That is Justin.
I love the shout out to William Regal when the Knox got brought out. Oh, just like William Regal.
The power of the punch.
Power of the punch. That was great.
But as Matt Stryker points out, we don't see DQs that often in the temple.
But because it's Cueto's Cup.
But I guess in this case,
violence is good, but not too much violence.
I don't know. I feel like the Cueto Cup, if anything were to be a no DQ tournament, it would be that. Yeah, like. I feel like he would not be happy with that. But I think he's paying such little attention to a match like this. Like, he doesn't really, like, mess with Sexy Star anymore. No. So he doesn't really care.
It was great when she knocked out Justin, too. She's like, I get DQ'd? Well, I'm just going to knock you out.
She's not happy with that ref's call, so she decides to just deck him one. And I guess if there is a fine system in place in Lucha Underground and the Temple... That's got to be like a couple grand, right?
Yeah.
Justin's he's a beautiful boy. His face is worth a couple $1,000.
Sure. Yeah. At least it wasn't Rick Knox or Marty Elias.
Right. It's
not the senior officials.
Not the senior officials. Yeah. I feel like they're all senior officials at this point.
Maybe. Senor.
Jesus Christ. The senior officials. If anything deserved that reaction, it's that. I'm shocked that reference has never been made on that show or this show before.
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy.
That's terrific.
I know. Next up, we get another one of these. On my notes, I just call them the HBO packages.
Yeah,
it's just
basically continuing the hype between Mundo and Rey.
Yeah, if you didn't know. They're facing each other for the title. Yeah. They're still facing each other for the title. I mean, I'm on board for all of these segments, but
I hope the Australian guy that does the voiceover gets to call commentary during this match.
Well, he did Ultima Lucha Uno, didn't he?
I think so, but then, like, why else would you use him for the voiceover all this time?
Right, it's very, very kind of out of left field.
Gee, that sounds kind of interesting.
I mean, a little. It's a little interesting. Not much. So that's still coming. That's still to come. We'll learn more about that whole scenario later on in the night. But just as a reminder, the winner of that title match goes on to face the winner of the Cueto Cup at Ultima Lucha Tres.
Yes.
Yes. Now, we got a debut. We got a debut on our hands. We've got Son of Havoc facing his brethren, also from the open road, Son of Madness. And we gotta say, we're both massive fans of both of these guys.
Yes.
This match did not do it for us.
No.
And I think it's because we know that both of these guys are so good.
Yeah.
Son of Madness especially, we've been huge fans of his for a very, very long time.
Well,
but
my beef with this is to introduce someone new to the temple and not have a crazy match,
right,
as a debut.
And that's the thing. If you got to think, you're positioning this as a big rivalry, obviously. If you're going to pull the trigger on having them wrestle each other the very first thing right off the bat, like you said, like there's got to be fire there, you know?
Everything from Melissa being like from the open road, like
right.
This is where Son of Madness,
right?
And then he comes down the steps and he's got like the same exact look, and then you see Son of Havoc get out of the ring and chase him up the stairs, and they're fighting on the steps. Like, okay, it's starting hot,
right?
So I would have liked to see more of like we're gonna kick the shit out of each other,
and then not to gloss over it, but to be fair, that hip toss that Son of Madness took from the stairs to the ground,
not good,
unbelievable.
Not good.
But it did seem like it was missing some heat.
Yeah.
For a story about what I'm assuming they're ostensibly meant to be brothers, if not biologically, then of the motorcycle club sort, whatever. It seemed like there should have been more there.
It should have been more like Dante and Killshot.
That's exactly right. It's almost the same story.
Yeah, basically. You knew from the moment Dante showed up at the temple when Killshot was like
right,
I thought you were dead, and he's like, you left me, you left me to die, and then he hits him with one move and then leaves the ring. Everyone knew, like, oh shit,
he's not messing around.
Yeah, like this is gonna be a crazy feud.
And we're not saying I wish that note was just sustained for like 15 seconds. And we're not saying that Son of Madness needs to come in and just like completely eat Son of Havoc's lunch and just leave him like in a puddle of blood.
But if you were two badass biker dudes, you would be throwing some hoss battle
and
fight.
Exactly. And there's something to be said from a story perspective, the fact that Son of Havoc should not be prepared for this.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he was able to outsmart him and beat him with a roll up, like I feel like that
ending was so whack.
I think it takes away from some of that mystique of like, who is this other son of blank?
The cool things that I did like in this match was at one point Son of Madness goes for a dive and Havoc kicks him in the head, and he just like took it, and like his cell was like floating out of the ring, like he slithered, fell out of the ring like the Grinch when the Grinch is like stealing Christmas presents. Dude, it was great. I love that.
Yes, absolutely.
I love the weird corner tope kind of thing,
right?
Like
where
through the turnbuckle.
It looks like he's going for that Sami Zayn diving DDT through the corners, but instead hits a spear.
Yeah.
What else? He also got to hit that sweet Battletoad stomp from the corner.
See, the thing I didn't like about that was it was a shitty camera angle. So you barely saw, like, all you saw was
That's true.
Son of Havoc like covering his head, waiting to get kicked, and then you saw like the boots touch him. You didn't see how badass it looks when, like, oh shit, he's tucked in the turnbuckle and now he's jumping off the top rope and stomping his head down.
Exactly. So eventually, Son of Havoc goes for the shooting star press. Lands on his feet. Son of Madness attempts a diving schoolboy. Son of Havoc rolls through, goes with a schoolboy of his own, gets the win.
I didn't like this because the commentators are like, "Oh, you can't even do it with pulling the tights," and then directly rolls out of that, rolls him up in the same roll up without the tights, and gets the win.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Not crazy about it. Not crazy about it.
I would have much rather the two of them like needed to be pulled apart, or mom comes down with bagel bites and they just stop fighting and just decide to have bagel bites.
Right.
Something.
But at the very least, after the match, Son of Madness hits a bicycle kick, so we know that this is going to continue.
Yeah, and then he takes his colors.
Right. I
love, did you notice that they're both like the same face on the back, but Madness's has like squiggly, little crazy eyes,
the
like
old school like X-ray vision.
Yeah, like the vertigo like spin in the eyes. Like, oh, that's Son of Madness's jacket. Get it? He's crazy in the eyes, guys.
The record's crazy. I like it. Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll get better stuff out of these guys. It's like we said, it's only because we know how good these guys are, and so for someone's debut, I think we were expecting a little more. But let's move on. Next first round match, we got Prince Puma taking on Ricky Mandel. Thank you. The match just started right now. But the saga of Dark Puma continues.
Yeah, this is definitely Dark Puma.
Right.
The mannerisms and just
he's not mucking about. He's not mucking about anymore. He's got his favorite hoodie, and he's not here to be taken to Slamtown, as Ricky Mandel tells him.
I love the Gilbert-esque of Ricky Mandel.
The fake Mundo entrance is pretty dope.
When he came in and like the smoke hits and it's like blowing his hair back, and he's like, "Oh, I'm cold." Gee, mister, it's kind of chilly in here.
I didn't think about that. It is the Mundo equivalent of the Gilbert sparklers and him like coughing on them.
Like oh, it was so good.
But
and he kept his glasses on the entire time.
Yes,
getting his ass kicked.
Yeah,
it's like Super Kalo would be so proud of you.
Oh, Super Kalo. One of my favorite 1997 era luchadors, next to El Dandy.
I think my favorite part in this match though was when Mandel hits the super kick, and Dark Puma like takes it and just like twists his head. I was like, oh,
that's pretty badass.
Like, it's like you're dead, and you just had to like adjust it back real quick and be like, all right.
That's pretty awesome. I hadn't thought about it that way. I like that.
Out of control.
Yeah, I just pictured. Like Mortal Kombat or like any kind of movie, like
sure,
like hold on,
right, exactly.
I hate when that happens. You know, like one of those.
So Puma hits that variation on the Michinoku driver.
Didn't Frankie Kazarian used to do that? Call it like
the wave of the future? Yep, okay. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
This is old school SoCal wrestling for you guys.
The very first indie show I ever went to in 1999, or no, 2000 rather. Frankie Kazarian was the EWF champion at the time.
Oh man,
it's a great show. Great show.
I'm proud of you.
I know. It's a great story. So afterwards, Prince Puma hits that dope ass superhero pose, like for no reason. Does that moonsault off the middle rope, lands in that like Thor ass pose, and then stares down Vampiro, his new master. It's working. It's working for him.
He's on the dark side.
The dark side. The dark side uses Windows 95. So we've got almost all of the first round set. Except for one more match, our main event. But next week, we'll get Paul London taking on Mil Muertes, Jeremiah Crane taking on Taya, and Phoenix taking on Marty the Moth.
Oh, wow.
So I'm excited.
That's a good
I'm
excited for Taya and Crane.
Taya and Crane, I'm super stoked for that match for sure.
We get another video.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, so backstage we've got Dragon Azteca Jr. with Rey Mysterio. They're kind of talking about if they eventually get to that point, it may well be Dragon Azteca versus Rey Mysterio at Ultima Lucha for the Lucha Underground Championship. But Prince Puma, Dark Puma, hoodie and all, comes in and asserts his claim.
He tried so hard to say cabron with an accent.
Cabron.
It was so bad.
It's a tough one.
I was just like, wait a minute.
It's that fun.
Like, did they really? No, we need you to do that again.
We need. I like the idea of them just doing take after take after take of like, cabron.
Less Paducah, please.
We gotta less Paducah. You got it.
Stay with us, folks. Things could break any minute now.
Exactly.
I want a rematch.
We're already out of main event.
Yeah, that's right.
This episode is flying by.
This is what happens when you have a hard out at 11.
There's only 2 of them. We're gonna be out earlier than that. There's only...
Neil's happy.
That's all of the engineers.
No one wants a rematch.
So we've got our main event, our final first-round match of the night. Dante Fox taking on Dragon Azteca Jr. That's right, I forgot. They did play on the fact that Rey Mysterio Jr. and Prince Puma had a match previously at Ultima Lucha Dos that Rey Mysterio won. Prince Puma looking for a different result, of course.
Yes.
So let's get on to Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Dante Fox. What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I mean, these 2 guys always deliver.
Sure.
So
and Dante Fox has...
that.
I love that he's in this story with Killshot because both he and Killshot have some of the most unique offense of anyone that we've seen. Yeah. Guys like, when they started bringing in this season, guys like Dante Fox, guys like Jeremiah Crane, they do stuff that nobody else does.
Yeah. 0 F's given.
Dante Fox especially, big fan of getting spiked on his head.
Oh, dude. Or like... that leg drop from the top rope to the ring apron. Like, how does that not hurt your ass for a week?
Hell to the no!
I did a leg drop from the middle rope about a month ago, and I've had a pinched nerve ever since.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Just picture you like,
you son of a bitch. Huh? Oh, it's the worst. It's the absolute worst. So
you're just like still sitting, like you couldn't even go for the pin. You're just like, I'm stuck.
The idea of doing that from the top to the apron, which guys, the apron is the hardest part of the ring. I don't know if you knew that. The idea of doing that to the apron it's a painful thought.
Yes,
for sure. What else did we see?
All his classics, like the clothesline in the corner, and then he skins the cat from there into a drop kick. So talented. Right.
And
he does it with such ease. Like, oh yeah, anyone could do this.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Right, exactly.
Like, you are the only person that does that, man.
He does this almost like Snap Death Valley Driver.
Yeah.
Where he kind of like rolls through sideways with it. It's really crazy to see. Lots of dives, obviously.
That Hurricane Rana on the outside where he just like spikes straight up.
Christ. So many
bad.
lawn dart moments.
Yeah, lawn dart.
What else? What he sometimes calls low main pain.
The setup for that,
which
was so good.
I'm trying not to call it that, and I'm trying not to call back to his other appearances in other places, but it's such an insane move to try and describe that's the only way I can describe it. If you guys don't know,
it's like a springboard C4.
This is why we need your wrestling figures.
Oh man, I'm fucking up.
So the opponent has to be sitting on the top rope. Dante Fox runs. It's like you said. It's almost like an Arabian C4, like a split-legged C4, but without the split.
Yeah.
The opponent's sitting on the top rope. Dante Fox jumps up, grabs him in a Uranagi position, bounces off of that top rope,
and flipping
ensues.
Flips like a Spanish fly.
Just Google low main pain, guys. Yeah. Level with me here.
No MSG.
No MSG. He's got low main pain and low main rain. He's a big fan of the Asian
low
food.
Main, yeah.
The low main.
He's a big fan of Top Ramen.
Right. I'm proud of you. Exactly. At one point, Dragon Azteca Jr., who is still not entirely healed up, is telling Rey that he can't continue. He's pointing to that tape on his back. Of course, Worldwide Underground takes that opportunity to come out, attack everyone in sight, including an apron powerbomb from Johnny Mundo de Rey. That is, it seems, I don't know if this was just like forced perspective, like the camera angle that they used, but it looked like he launched him so far into that ring apron.
This is like Kung Pao, and he's like, I'm coming! He's like, keeps running. Chosen one! I'm coming! I never,
you want fries with that?
Yeah, he like tossed him, and he was just like gliding in the air.
Right. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Nobody takes a beating like Rey Mysterio.
Dido plays in the background. You're just like, what is going on?
Dear Stan. So amidst all of the chaos, the fracas that ensues, Dragon Azteca Jr. takes his eye off the ball, decides to dive onto the Worldwide Underground with a suicide dive. Dante Fox capitalizes on that distraction of Dragon Azteca Jr., hits him with the Fox Catcher to advance in the tournament.
That's a great name for that move.
It's great. Yeah. Isn't it great? Did you ever see Foxcatcher?
No.
It's a weird movie. It's really good, but it's a weird movie. Yeah. It's weird movie.
Weird.
Go watch Foxcatcher.
Weird pictures, Mr. Quaid.
I got deathly ill when I saw Foxcatcher in the movie theater.
I don't.
It was those horrible gummy bears.
Oh.
I went to a theater in Hollywood that had gummy bears.
Yeah.
And
it was bad.
It's bad.
It was there was bad batches of gummy bears.
It was a bad bake. It was really, really bad.
They were the ones where you
just... Things could break any minute now.
Where you don't bounce.
I broke.
You don't bounce when you eat those gummy bears?
No, it was not good. It was not good. I don't know if they were the sugar-free kind that are supposed to be like...
make you shit.
No, I don't... Yeah, exactly. I don't think it was them, but goddamn, did they do a number on me regardless.
Big fan of
it. It was a gross error.
It was an extremely gross error in more ways than one.
Oh man!
But that's it. There was
no after.
No stinger after the credits.
Weird.
No Vinny Massaro. God damn it.
Sad.
Disappointed.
I know, Kevin. I've been waiting for Kevin to come in.
Well, maybe this was like a down episode because the last 2 episodes were so fucking.
They were pretty hot fire, so it makes sense that
you're like these had to be like my favorite episodes ever.
Right,
like all the matches were great. So they're like, yeah, we need to take a breather. This would be the cool down match.
This is the cool down. This is a cool down. This is a cool down. If this endless season was a wrestling show, this would be the cool down match.
Go get your popcorn.
Hey Neil. Where's my favorite?
He's like deep into his book.
Where's my favorite boy? Can you hit us with some prediction music?
Sure.
Hell yeah, just the Inception bomb.
We need a top that's just spinning for the whole episode. No, but let's get into some predictions. We got some time. That's our Lucha predictions music now.
I like it.
What do you think? What do you think about things? Just in general. Let's get broad with it. Let's get real broad.
I think
I'm such a fucking bad host. I wish I should have printed out brackets. I'm so dumb.
I think Taya.
Let's talk about. Let's at least start with next week. Let's talk about these second round matches. We've got London Muertes. Who do we think?
Mil
Muertes.
Unless some magical way he chases the rabbit down the hole and he becomes one of the rabbit tribe.
If the rabbit tribe pulled some like LSD shit and beat Mil Muertes,
fucking great.
What's that?
If like Mil chases Paul like backstage and it becomes like a vignette. And Masquerita is dressed like Mil.
Jesus.
And then Mil's like, holy shit, did I shrink?
Oh my God.
What is going on?
I would be super on board with that.
That'd be so great.
It reminds me of like, do you ever play any of the Arkham games?
No.
So like the Arkham games, first of all, they're incredible, but there are levels that like the Scarecrow has gassed you, and so you're hallucinating and you're seeing all this wild shit. Yeah. I would be on board with something
that would be
akin to that. But yeah, I agree. I think
the more you know.
The more you know about LSD and the Scarecrow. So yeah, I think
fire Scarecrow.
Mil Muertes moves on. Jeremiah Crane and Taya.
This is going to be a really
an interesting one.
I have a feeling that the Worldwide Underground is definitely going to interfere.
You think so?
Yeah. Or, wait. Because didn't Jeremiah Crane pretty much fucking decapitate Mil last week?
Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Do we think maybe the Rabbit Tribe capitalizes on that?
Possibly. Or maybe like Mil's the reason why Taya beats Jeremiah.
Almost ruides. Interesting.
What? Is that a word?
That is interesting in Japanese.
Oh, really?
Jeremiah Crane and Taya. Interesting. I think... now, I'm thinking maybe Worldwide Underground interferes, but maybe that backfires on them. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe Ricky Mandel, like, screws the pooch somehow.
He's like, I got this, guys. Don't worry.
I got it.
And then he turns around and he's like, hey, those were your pictures.
It just, like, slips on a banana peel. I could see that happening in the temple. So yeah, I think it's a close one. I think Crane's going to take that one, and then Phoenix versus Marty the Moth.
I hope Marty wins.
I hope so too.
I have a feeling he won't, but I really hope he does.
I don't know. They can throw some curveballs.
Yeah. Phoenix is Like in real time, not Lucha. What's going on in the season? But is Phoenix hurt right now?
I'm not sure,
because I know he had to pull out of Bola, and he had to pull out of like another.
He might.
He was supposed to be at bar wrestling this last week. He couldn't wrestle there.
He might be hurt. He might be hurt. I'm not sure.
I don't know if he's hurt or if there's like contract shit.
Right. Who knows? Whatever. I miss King Cornell, guys. Yeah. Can I just be real?
His fucking cowboy hat.
I really miss King Cornell.
Truck with the antlers and shit.
Really bad. Yeah, exactly. There's not enough trucks with antlers on our wrestling shows.
I would love to see like vignettes of like King Cuerno's hunting time, and it's like taxidermy with King Cuerno. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of like King Cuerno's cutting corner, all with K's, and he's just like cutting his meat that he hunted. That's what needs to happen.
King Cuerno's roadkill.
Give us big burlap sacks, $sign painted on them. Oh boy, that's our episode.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
or was it? Did the top fall? You'll never know. Oh man. But if you're staying up late with us, once again, thank you so much. Especially if you're on the East Coast. We love you. It's a very late night. We're very sleepy. I'm sure you are too. But we appreciate your support nonetheless.
Sleepy, soggy boys.
That's just we're just real sleepy boys.
We missed Rachel's recap.
We did. We've been slacking on Rachel's recap. We'll get that done. I feel like us recapping the reason why she's not here was a good substitute, though. Remember, guys, if you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. Just be nice. Be a nice boy or girl to us. We're sensitive. If you're on iTunes, download, comment, review, subscribe, rate. Of course, 5 stars if you're nasty. And if you're on Twitter, you can find us. And you can talk about your favorite Soggy Boys. You can talk about your fantasy booking for Lucha Underground and how it might involve the living dead or maybe monsters like Goro.
Or Mills doing acid.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But if you want to find us online, Jimbo, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at Jimbo the Booth. Check out XPac12360.
There you go. Who do you got?
This week we had the Young Bucks.
There you go. Yeah. Fresh off of their
New Japan.
The very first New Japan show in America. We were both there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I met some AfterBuzz fans. They were incredible.
Dude, wasn't that so cool? Me and Ty were at the we were at the New Japan show.
The New Japan G1 special in USA.
A fan came up to me and was telling me how much he loves us on the Lucha Underground show, and I was like, oh, that's great. Ty is right over there.
We love you guys.
And then he went up and said, what up to Ty?
We love you guys.
This is awesome.
So much. We love when that happens.
Shout out.
But yes, you can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. You can find me 2 hours ago on the American Grit after show. And you can find me next Wednesday for the American Ninja Warrior after show. And if you're in Southern California, you can even come see me manage live at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. It's at 3 o'clock. It's in Port Hueneme. It's on the beach. And it's completely free. Or if you're not in Southern California, you can find us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Tough TV, Fight TV, YouTube America. Check those local listings, all that stuff. We're viewable, so find us and view us. But until next week, Viva la Lucha.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
R.I.P. Rachel's dog.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.